Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders and best. Hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go Blue!
Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I am James Yoder, the face of Michigan football media. Coming up on the Michigan Football Report, we have major recruiting news on a commitment headed elsewhere and a five-star that seems imminent to the Wolverines in a matter of days, maybe weeks. All that coming up on the Michigan Football Report right now. All right, let's get right into it again. I am James Yoder. Follow me on Twitter at James T. Yoder for all your Michigan football inside info throughout the football season and beyond. Eric Gray, been committed to Michigan since July 1st, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. I've been telling you folks since September he is not going to be part of this class, but no one wanted to believe me. I got so many people claiming I'm making things up, all this stuff. Back in September, I put this tweet out saying, hear more. I try to be a little, on Twitter, a little vague. I want people to watch the show and get all the info, so I don't put everything out there on Twitter. But we talked about it in the Michigan Football Report. He will not be a part of this class. No one wanted to believe me because, the Paye sites, the blog boys, they were telling you else, something else. So here's what I said back in September. I said, hearing even more chatter that the skies are turning from blue to gray with a capital G and an AY, of course, to leave no doubt for Michigan football recruiting. Seems like an SEC school is going to steal Michigan's football commitment. Yada, yada, yada. Dax Hill committed right around that time. And so plenty of people were, why would he leave? Why would he go elsewhere? And here is kind of the deal. We're going to get more into this in our Michigan Football Rumors show coming up Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time on Facebook Live and the Chat Sports YouTube channel. But Eric Gray never went to Michigan when he committed. He had never been on campus. He committed, kind of just blindly on July 1st out of nowhere, and I think some people expected it because they got word the tea leaves are training this way. But this wasn't a guy that Michigan, I think, recruiting experts or coaches ever thought was going to be at the school, even when he committed. Had multiple opportunities to come to Michigan for a official visit and has canceled every single time. He has canceled this weekend. And I would not consider him a commitment. The Paye sites are still listing me as a Michigan commitment. Do not think Eric Gray has any chance of being at this with this 2019 recruiting class. All-purpose back, would have been a player that Michigan certainly would have appreciated, but I don't think he's going to be too big of a loss given the other players that they've got coming in this 2019 class. So the news, Eric Gray has canceled his visit to Ann Arbor this weekend for his official visit, which would have also been a top opportunity for him to meet his fellow running back commitment, Zach Charbonnet, out of California. Canceled the visit, will not be a Wolverine is what I'm telling you. We're going to get more into that tomorrow on the Michigan Football Recruiting Rumors segment of that program. So that is the news on Eric Gray, not going to be a Wolverine, going to either Ole Miss or Tennessee. The outfit I'm wearing today, you've heard me tell before, want to give you guys an opportunity to get hooked up. Reveal Suits has extended the promo throughout football season, so you have got the opportunity to buy this badass Michigan football sports jacket. Blue looks professional on the outside. It's kind of like a mullet of sports coats. Business on the outside, party on the inside, maize and blue. Get hooked up with $100 off before they go on sale to the public. Email info@revealsuits.com. My shirt underneath, as always, provided by Mizzen and Main Performance Fabrics dress shirt. I can stretch this bad boy out. I can run for a jog in it. I can sleep in it. It doesn't really get that wrinkled. I love Mizzen and Main. Check them out. Comfortable.af is the website. You know what the website's at. Those things got to be comfortable as F. Let's get into the more news for Michigan football. Shea Patterson, what a year he is having. Now, we were down on Shea Patterson. You were down on him. I was down on him after the Michigan loss to Notre Dame, where I thought being in the stadium, he actually looked rather pedestrian, not much better than maybe a John O'Corn. I watched the film afterwards, a little bit better performance than I thought in the stadium, and has consistently gotten better since. In the last 3 or 4 weeks, really since the Wisconsin game, he has looked in command of the Michigan offense. And if he comes back next year, the offense has a chance to take it to another level that we haven't seen in more than a decade. Shea is now number 3 in the nation in quarterback rating, according to, I guess these are provided by ESPN, I guess. I'm not sure who does these things. But it is basically an assessment of how efficient and productive you are kind of combined. So clearly, Tua Tagovailoa of Alabama, the sophomore, the Heisman overwhelming favorite. Number 1, Kyler Murray out of Oklahoma. And this is just passing stats, is number 2. Those guys far and away the top 2. But look who's number 3 there. It's not Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State, certainly not Trace McSorley or Michigan State's quarterback Brian Lewerke, all returning starters in the Big Ten. I guess not Haskins, but Haskins was there early in the year. It is Shea Patterson, 85.2 quarterback rating according to these stats. The last quarterback to lead the nation in passer efficiency for Michigan, you got to go all the way back to 1992, 1991, back-to-back years, Elvis Grbac. So Shea Patterson having an all-time great year. I think the stats will shake out around 2,700 yards for the year, third or fourth best yard season of all time. Next year, though, if he returns, they're going to take it to another level. Want to transition from that. Shea Patterson, want to know from you guys, who is the MVP of the Michigan football season this year? Let's talk about through 10 games, not considering what they're going to do against Ohio State, Indiana, the playoff, the bowl game, wherever Michigan goes down the road. Is it Shea? Is it Chase Winovich? Is it Karan Higdon or Devin Bush? If you're watching live on the Michigan Wolverines by Chat Sports Facebook page, give us a reaction, a like, a heart, a ha-ha, or a wow face if you're watching on Chat Sports YouTube. Please comment below who has been Michigan's MVP this season. I've debated about this one back and forth, but I think if you take one of these guys, most valuable, away, I've got to go Shea Patterson. I am giving it that like. If you put the quarterbacks there last year, we're going to look at some stats later on. Shea Patterson's year this year is the difference between 8-4, 8-5 last year, and a potential playoff berth here in 2018. So I've got Shea Patterson the like as my 2018 MVP so far. Let's talk about Lavert Hill. He's a guy we're going to talk about a little more throughout today's show and tomorrow about potentially the NFL draft in his future, but will he play this week? He got knocked out of Saturday's game with Rutgers in the first half. Sorry, looking at my notes, got a couple guys confused there, but spent the second half in the locker room. Now, Jim Harbaugh said at his press conference Monday he's in the concussion protocol. The word, the tea leaves out there is he can play Saturday. He's going to get pushed through the concussion protocol and will be able to play tomorrow. But I am predicting now that he will not play because I don't think Michigan needs him with the emergence of Brandon Watson. Ambry Thomas with an interception last week, looking a little better, getting some playing time in the secondary. I don't think you need Lavert Hill. You need him 100% for that amazing Ohio State passing attack you're going to face on November 24th. So look for Hill, even if he's cleared in the concussion protocol, not to play on Saturday, although that's just a prediction. No inside info on that one. And speaking of that Ohio State game, would you like to go to the Ohio State game? Would you like to go with me, have an opportunity to win tickets from Chat Sports and BetDSI and get a free jersey just for participating? We are giving away the best deal in history. Sign up and deposit with BetDSI. You get a Michigan football Mays jersey from Jordan no matter what. You DM me when done. I'm going to get you enrolled in our contest. And this is not one of these crazy 1 in 10,000 people win. It's about a 1 in 100 chance you can win these tickets. They're going to be awesome tickets. Michigan at Ohio State. Plus, you get the 120% deposit bonus. This is free cash, money in the bank for you with BetDSI. So, sports betting is fun. I'll tell you what, I've never enjoyed a football season like this one. I used to gamble back in the day. I got back into it this year with BetDSI. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code GoBlue. No spaces. Don't type spaces in, or I'm going to have to do some extra legwork to hook you up. Go Blue. You get a 120% bonus. You get the free jersey, no questions asked. I'm going to send you one. You just got to DM me. And you have about a 1% chance, 1 in 100 chance of winning amazing tickets. Michigan at Ohio State. Get to go to the game with me. Maybe get to wear this reveal suit coat when Michigan pulls off the victory in Columbus. Get going with them right now. On to more Michigan football news. Kwity Paye and Aubrey Solomon. What is their status for Saturday? They are expected to play as we sit here Friday afternoon. Paye left the Rutgers game with an apparent arm injury. Jim Harbaugh said he was hit on his funny bone. I like the term funny bone a lot better than what Brady Hoke used to say, which was a boo-boo, which made me want to pull my hair out and gouge my ears from hearing a grown man say the word boo-boo. Funny bone, kind of on that level, but certainly better than boo-boo. Aubrey Solomon did not make the trip out to New Jersey, to Piscataway, one of the worst cities in America, I've been told. Due to an illness, Jim Harbaugh said in his press conference Monday, it's cold and flu season, so make sure to get your flu shot held. Aubrey Solomon out of a football game in his sophomore year, and it's holding people out of work these days. So I want to ask you guys, have you got your flu shot? Have you went to the doctor, the CVS pharmacy, Walmart, Walgreens, and got a flu shot? type Y for yes, watching on Facebook Live and the Chat Sports YouTube channel. Type N for no. Have you got your flu shot yet? If you haven't, so you intend to get it, I'm putting a big no. I'm typing it right now, the big N, and I'll tell you why, okay? I feel that I want the germs to be on me because then my body knows how to fight them off. I don't want any of these vaccines, anything like that. I shy away from medicine wholeheartedly. That's what football guys do. That's what tough guys do. I advise no flu shots for you. But let me know why for yes and for no. More news for Michigan football. Just a jam-packed week with only 2 games to go in the regular season. Josh Metellus was in uniform, went through warm-ups on Saturday versus Rutgers, but did not play. My man, Brad Hawkins, got a start in his place. Metellus is expected to return against Indiana. Jim Harbaugh said he had a soft tissue injury, would have been available if needed, was not needed, and certainly why play a player like that? Metellus having one of the better years, certainly I think the most improved year after a lot of you, or maybe myself, wrote him off completely after dropping that interception against Ohio State last November. So Josh Metellus, expect to be in the lineup, but I think Brad Hawkins has played well enough that if Metellus missed another game down the stretch, I think Michigan's going to be just fine. You're watching on Facebook Live, you're watching on YouTube. I also encourage you to take the Michigan Football Report and James Yoder with you on the go if you have an iPhone. Download the podcast today, subscribe for it, and hey, give me a 5-star rating if you can, because some of the haters and losers hit me up with a Yoder is no good a review a while back, and that's the most recent review. So subscribe, chatsports.com/Yoder redirects you right to the App Store if you are on your iPhone. Not available for Google yet, but we will get you guys hooked up before too long. Chatsports.com/Yoder, it's a redirect, it'll open it up, press subscribe, and every time we have a new episode, you'll get alerted on your phone. You can take it with you. It's video form too, not just audio. You can watch it on video. Michigan is playing Indiana on Saturday, and let's take a look at the point spread, the lines, what the gamblers, what the pros think of this matchup. The Wolverines hosting Indiana in their 2018 season finale, senior day for the seniors at Michigan. Take a look at the spread there. Michigan favored by 29 points, a 53.5 over/under. The Wolverines 9-1 on the year. Of course, beat Rutgers last week by 35. If Ohio State lost to Maryland and Michigan won this game, they would be in the Big Ten title game no matter what happens in Columbus. The Hoosiers beat Maryland by 2 points last week. They won in Ann Arbor since my daddy was a boy, okay? So that's how long it's been since Indiana has won in Ann Arbor. It's also been since 1987, the year after Jim Harbaugh left the Wolverines as a player, since Indiana has beat Michigan at all, 22 straight for the Wolverines. So the line's 29. Michigan opened up at 27.5-point favorites. Now it's 29. What that means, give you guys a little insight, if you're betting, if you took advantage of our promo with BetDSI, what that means is that a slightly more amount of the money bet on this matchup so far has gone towards Michigan. We'll see what the pro bettors do in the coming days. Follow me on Twitter, of course, I guess in the coming day. Follow me on Twitter. I'll put my gambling picks out about an hour before noon Eastern to let you guys know what I'm playing tomorrow. Michigan has won the last 22. Let's take a look at the last 5 matchups versus Indiana. It has been remarkably close, and these games a couple years back, 2015, I watched this game in Mexico. I was down there for a wedding or a birthday party of my wife's friend. It was a barn burner, and this game has gone to overtime 2 of the last 3 years. Of course, last year, Cron Higdon first play to the end zone. A couple years back, it took a Herculean effort from Delano Hill to rip the ball out of Indiana wide receiver's hands to not go to 3 overtime with the Hoosiers. Even in 2016, Michigan only won by 10 points. And you go back to that awesome yet amazingly terrible game in 2013, really kind of accelerating the beginning of the end for Brady Hoke, although he had another full year after that. I don't know why. When Michigan had to score 63 points, it's the famous Jeremy Gallon with like 400 yards receiving. I think it was like 451, and Devin Gardner with 600 some yards passing, obliterating Michigan football records. So that's the result. Michigan 22 straight over Indiana, 29-point favorites. I want to know from you guys, the Wolverines season finale, home finale, I should say, against Indiana, number 4 in America. Predict the score. If you're the first one to DM me, predict below in the comments. Let's see what everyone thinks. Let's get a little mind share going on so we all can be on the right path for tomorrow. But comment below, Facebook Live, Chat Sports YouTube, and then DM me on Twitter. One winner, 25 bones straight cash, homie, from my pocket, my Reveal Suits pocket, pull out of the wallet, send in your way, check, cash, Venmo, whatever you need. DM me on Twitter to get eligible for that one. Do it right now so you're not the last guy to get invited to the party with that prediction. All right, let's keep it moving with some Michigan football news. 2020 quarterback is going to commit on November 29th, a little less than 2 weeks from now, actually 2 weeks from yesterday. Harrison Bailey, we've talked about him for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's visited Michigan a couple times, broke his collarbone recently when Jim Harbaugh visited him on the bye week. Junior quarterback. One of the more, high-profile quarterback or recruits in general in the South. I actually read from a competing source that, hey, if he commits to Michigan on the 29th, there are several high four-star and five-star players in the South that might want to play on the offensive side of the ball, that might want to play with Harrison Bailey, very popular at the camps and the circuits. He has visited Michigan a couple times, had to cancel his visit a couple weeks ago because of the broken collarbone that required surgery. But considering Michigan, Alabama, and Tennessee, the crystal balls and the recruiting site all pointing to Bailey picking the Wolverines. And wouldn't that be an embarrassment of riches in the quarterback room with Cade McNamara, Joe Milton, potentially Brandon Peters, although I doubt he'll be there in 2020, Dylan McCaffrey, and then, of course, Harrison Bailey. You've had five quarterbacks in 2020 that could potentially lead the Michigan football team. I'm not sure if they've had that much talent on the roster really my entire life. So Harrison Bailey, 13 days from now, will commit. All expectations is he will be a Wolverine. Top 100 player overall. Some of the services have him training on being a 5-star player, although he won't get a chance to move up given his collarbone. He'll have to wait till the offseason or next football season. Next up, 2019 quarterback commit Cade McNamara, skipping all of his all-star events. Now, he's not an Army All-American, so these are some of the more regional and state versus state events, but he tweeted out this week, hey, thank you to some coaches, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, All-American Bowl, but I'm not playing in those bowl games. I'm not doing anything after my high school football season is over. What am I going to do? I'm worried about being a Michigan man. That's what I'm talking about. Cade McNamara, my kind of guy. Really like him out of Reno, Nevada. I think he's going to have the Notre Dame decommit. Harbaugh stole one away from Brian Kelly. I think he has an opportunity to be a multi-year starter here down the line. He said he is focusing on being a Michigan man, believed to be enrolling early, so he'll be on campus here in about 7-8 weeks from now. Cade McNamara, Michigan's quarterback 2019. So there's your quarterback news 2019, 2020, Harrison Bailey and Cade McNamara. How about Jedd Fisch? If you follow me on Twitter, you would have known a few weeks back, maybe about 7 weeks ago, SMU, one of the games that Michigan didn't perform very well, that I said, hey, there's one man that's proven that he can give Jim Harbaugh an offensive attack at the University of Michigan. It is Jedd Fisch. He was UCLA's offensive coordinator last year in a coach going downhill. Of course, his head coach was fired. He served as the interim head coach for one game. Didn't get really any love to be a college OC or anything like that in the pros. He's actually not even a coach. He's an offensive analyst for the Rams, working with the quarterbacks, working with the passing game. And that, given how their offense has really transformed football, them along with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs this year, he is getting looks for offensive coordinator roles in the NFL and, of course, college football head coaching jobs. He is a candidate at Kansas, also with former Michigan football player and assistant Les Miles. Keep an eye out for this one. I like Jedd Fisch. I like following him on Twitter. Follow a couple of his family members as well. Really hope he gets that job if that's what he is going for. So keep an eye out for that one. Kansas fired their coach, Dave Beatty, about a week or so ago. Also of note, former Michigan associate athletic director, what's his name again? Yeah, that's right. I forget what his name is there at Kansas as the athletic director. Jeff Long. I just got it in my earpiece isn't working. My producer's trying to talk. I can't tell what it is. Jeff Long, formerly at Arkansas, worked at Michigan. Actually, I heard it in under Bo Schembechler as an associate athletic director back in the 80s through the 90s. He worked with Les Miles. That is the story there on Jedd Fisch. Bush, Gary, are they gone? Are they going to the pros? Well, if you believe that a top 10 player should go, and if you believe that Mel Kiper knows what he's talking about, I think these guys are as good as gone. Mel Kiper came out with his recent big board this week, and surprise, surprise, Rashan Gary is still in the top 10, which actually I am surprised a little about, but Devin Bush has moved up to number 6 on Mel Kiper's big board, which I don't think linebackers usually get picked, and Kiper's isn't a prediction of where they get picked, it's just who has the most talent, who's the best player, but I think this spells that Rashan Gary, that Devin Bush is going to be a top 15 pick, certainly will be a first-round pick. And if that's the case, I think he is as good as gone, and I think he's given Michigan two of the better seasons as a linebacker that we've ever had in the history of the program, at least in the modern era, the last 30, 40 years that I can remember. So Devin Bush, most likely gone. Rashan Gary, we'll see, but probably gone. Take a look at some other guys. Ben Bredesen Jr., number 3 offensive guard. So keep an eye out for that one. That kind of trends to him being a third-round, maybe late second-round pick if he's the number 3 guard. Chase Winovich being slated as a linebacker, second-round, maybe third-round pick. He's a senior. He'll be gone no matter what. Flip over to Karan Higdon, the number 6 running back. So he'll probably be a third or fourth-round pick. Potentially he could move up a little bit. David Long, Lavert Hill, 2 juniors. I really hope these guys come back because Michigan's defense could be so absurd next year with those 2 players returning. But they are top 10 cornerbacks, could be slated to be top, third, fourth round picks, maybe slide into the second, maybe slide into the first. And Shea Patterson, ironically, we're going to talk more about Shea Patterson and his future. One NFL draft, scout is saying that Shea Patterson's going pro. We're going to talk about that in Michigan football rumors, but he is not rated at all on Mel Kiper's big board as far as quarterbacks are concerned. Top 10 quarterbacks for next year. Shea Patterson, nowhere to be found. So, with that being said, Michigan's got a lot of players potentially could be drafted in the NFL draft. A lot of talent on the roster. Could be matched up if things played out as they stand now in the college football playoff to play Alabama in either Dallas or Miami. So it brought up an interesting conundrum for me. I was talking to some people about this. Would you rather, and now, I know Michigan's going to give Alabama a game. I know everyone's going to predict, all Michigan fans are going to go into that with optimism. But let's just say they didn't win the game and got beat up like many expected they would. Would you rather lose to Alabama by 2 touchdowns in the college football playoff or get knocked out of the playoff because maybe Bama loses or Oklahoma jumps them in that 5th spot, go to the Rose Bowl as Big Ten champions, and win by 2 touchdowns against a team like maybe Washington State? Want to know from you guys, would you rather lose in the college football playoff or win the Rose Bowl? This year specifically, not talking about in the past, present, and future, lose to Bama big time or have a big time win, finish the season with 13 wins, 13-1 if you win the Big Ten. Ask the question I'm asking you guys. Comment below, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. I'm running this on my Periscope too, so comment there. We don't get too many comments on Periscope. So let me know what you would prefer for Michigan this football season. More Michigan football news, and I saw another, I peruse the blogs, I peruse the other people. I see what they're writing out there. That's why we have a new show. We're not trying to break every story. I saw out there that Michigan's season this year potentially is the most dominant since 1901, back since the point-a-minute teams, 5 straight national titles, 01 through 1905. This year's Michigan football team has won every home game, 6 so far, by 21 points. That has never happened in the history of Michigan football since 1901. Now, Michigan has had certainly plenty of undefeated home seasons in the history of their football program. Not as many as you'd think, though. Jim Harbaugh had 2016. Of course, and that was his only. 2012 and 11 for Brady Hoke, 6, 4, 3, 2097. But all of those years, Michigan had to pull out very close victories against teams each one of those years to get those undefeated home seasons. In 2016, it was a 7-point win over Wisconsin, 2 top 10 teams at the time. A 2-point win over Michigan State, a 4-point win over Notre Dame in 2011. Go back to 2006, the Fighting Brady Hokes of Ball State came in and gave Michigan a scare. An 8-point win over Ball State was the closest that year. 2 3-point victories in 2004, 2 4-point victories over Indiana and number 4 Ohio State in 2003, a 3-point victory in 2000, and then go back to 1997, a game I was at. 1997, a 4-point victory over a top 15 Iowa team was the closest matchup that year. So if Michigan wins by 3 touchdowns, this is the most dominant home slate Michigan has had since 1901, 117 years. And the Michigan home game tomorrow against Indiana is 7 days before the Michigan finale of the regular season, at least in the schedule, against Ohio State. And I have a massive opportunity for you guys to go to the game, to get a free jersey no matter what, and to get 120% bonus on your cash. So here's how you do it. Chatsports.com/GoBlue. You get 120% bonus to bet with BetDSI. When you do that, you get a Michigan football maize jersey, no questions asked. We'll put it in the mail within a couple of days, and you will get, all you gotta do there is DM me when you're done, and I will enroll you to win Michigan football tickets at Ohio State. Some really, really great tickets to watch the game with me. Chatsports.com/bet. use that promo code GoBlue. You sign up and deposit with BetDSI. You get the jersey. You get the 120 bonus, free cash, baby. And then you have a great chance to go to the Michigan football at Ohio State game on November 24th with yours truly, James Yoder. Promo code GoBlue, chatsports.com/bet. And by the way, no more complaining about the ads. We got to pay the bills around here. You see these lights? They're on. Somebody's paying the bills. BetDSI hooking you up, hooking us up. So let's keep it going. Actually, that's the last piece of news. I thought we had more. We are out, baby. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. I have massive Michigan football rumors, a lot of recruiting. You know, I'm not a big recruiting guy, but I put the feelers out there. Tomorrow, Michigan football recruiting, 9 a.m. Eastern, Facebook Live and the Chat Sports YouTube channel. We will see you then.